I'm gonna go down there. That way I can grab the audio. Alright, is the audio coming in fine? No. For the stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. I swapped everything to my headphones, so everything should be coming in through there. Oh wait, yeah, there we go. This should work now.
Crazier, obviously, as it keeps going. I don't know how far you're into it, but holy shit, it really escalates.
I'm all the way in.
All the way up.
All the way up.
User joined your microphone muted.
I do like how the Indian ends up being this like sleeper throughout the entire book. Like
Which
he
one again?
sneaks
I'm
up
sorry.
on you. The Indian, what's it called? The bartender. He ends up being a sleeper character until the end of the book.
Oh man, he really fucking creeps up on people, doesn't he? And then they're doing ayahuasca in that basement. That was That one in the white buffalo, where he's buck naked with a white buffalo, is that's my favorite scene of his. I think.
He's like, no, that doesn't have any connotation to this.
It's just an albino buffalo.
Yeah. And the thing fucking takes off outside of the whorehouse. By the way, I would kill to make this into a TV series.
I'd definitely watch it.
I pitched it as Deadwood meets Eastbound and Down as a half-hour series.
That'd probably have to be on like HBO or something, though, right?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
HBO or Netflix is the only way I could see that happening.
Yeah,
Netflix,
I was gonna say
because
Netflix.
they have no qualms.
CBS.
So, what inspired the bromance with the horse?
Yes.
Horses are awesome.
With the old Steed?
Yes.
I like the fact that men back then didn't give a shit about anything except for their horse. And it was partly because they were so expensive that they were just like, oh, fuck, I can always get a new wife, but I definitely can't get a new sweet horse.
That's awesome.
And then every female romance novel ever always had a horse involved, or they were always, like, I don't know why, like, girls want, like, ponies, or they want to be, like, an equestrian or shit like that. And I just like the fact that a dude had a horse, and that meant more than than his wife and his fucking 8 kids.
I got a quick question. So, how much research in romance novels did you have to do before you did this book?
Yeah, like 20 books.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Before I do all of this shit, I like, as crazy as all of this is, FDR American Badass, or this book, or anything, I do a crazy amount of research beforehand. I ended up reading, I think, 25 romance novels for women.
That's a
Wow.
Danielle Steele.
That
was
is
close.
serious research.
How many of them had Fabio on the front?
Boy. It looks like it's a different guy now, but it looks like the same, like, gay cowboy. And I wanted it to be, like, literally 100% opposite of those books. So I read as many as I could, and I was like, all right, if this is what the female cliche is, I'm going to drive this into the fucking ground.
So, in reading this, you had to make sure you were straight afterwards.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Had to do that man check.
Yeah, you gotta do a nut check. You gotta chalk up and do a nut check here and there,
Microphone
and that
activated.
just goes in every facet of your life.
Every morning.
Was there any point where you decided that maybe this is too far?
Still up?
Let's see. So when specifically towards the wife, they were like, "Hey, you need to ease up on this." When the wife dies and he is crying that one tear, there was a huge speech in there afterwards where he goes into. He was like, I'll read it as St. James because that's how I still hear it in my mind. But he was just like, look, after that tear extinguished the flame beneath
Microphone
me,
muted.
I kind of looked at my options. She was over 30. It was probably time for me to upgrade anyways. Because let's face it, once that wagon starts going downhill, that's going to be a lot of patchwork to keep it up, and it's never going to roll the same way again. And I literally went off on, like, it was an entire full page of, like, like, why only 20-year-old pussy was, like, the greatest thing in the world. And he was just like, look, hers was loosening up. And look, Abner Doubleday wasn't invented yet, but it was like an old catcher's mitt. And then he went into, like, I went into this speech of, like, I tried to pay a local doctor in town to sew it up a few times when she was sleeping, but he wouldn't take the bait. So I had
But
to
you
do,
did.
like, I think if memory serves me, there was a page and a half of just how much he could have given a shit less about his wife after she died. And, like, the revenge was more about him and, like, burning down the house and the kids and shit.
And the opium.
Yeah, he was really pissed about the opium. And their biggest note that they came back to me is like, look, we need to feel more, for the wife. Like, it can't just be about St. James Street James being awesome. I was like, Actually, it can be.
But it
if
can,
you let
and it is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He grows on you by being a narcissist.
Yeah, and again, like all of the notes that I got for shit to take out were things on his own of like descriptions about himself or things that were going on around him where they were just like, man, you've got to make the audience care more. And I was like, I look, I differed. Like we bickered up until probably about 48 hours before they went to print the book.
It's like, dude, the dude cheats on his wife the whole book. How much are they really gonna empathize with him?
That's what I said. I was like, his fucking kid is dipped in gold, like, you know. And he keeps calling him his golden boy and the fucking, I hope his powdery nuts are being cradled in heaven. And it's, I was like,
oh God.
I pulled up 1,000 examples to them of like, hey, your point really isn't that fucking valid. I think St. James Street James should do whatever he wants.
He's like, I wish my boy was downstream so he could taste this water.
Yeah, and then he fucks that gypsy on top of the dead kid's grave. Like, I just didn't understand. To me, I was like, what's wrong with this speech about how old the dead wife is at this point?
Actually, I had a question about the gypsy. I felt like there was supposed to be more with that, but they might have cut it out.
Yeah.
No, actually, this is a really funny story.
He was just a stalker.
There was actually less with the gypsy, and I added more.
Nice.
They said to me that one of their exact notes, and by the way, the book is Simon & Schuster. They distributed it. They're one of the biggest publishers in the world. And like, I have no problem throwing them under the bus. I don't give a fuck. I gotta go with that. They were like, dude, there's too much gypsy. And I was like, I don't think there's enough gypsy in this.
So basically, whatever they recommended, you're like, no, I'm going to
you.
do exactly the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, I did some really tough shit towards the end of it. Like, I knew one of my editors was going out of town, like overseas, and they weren't going to have access to it. So they give you these edits that are like marked in red. I changed them back to black and said that I had made their edits when I didn't.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of the shit that I wanted back in, I got back in, and I don't even know if they know to this day, to be honest with you. But the one thing I definitely didn't get back in was the Harriet Tubman chapter. They were fucking adamant about that.
So
Were you expecting
like a lot of
Harriet
Tubman chapter?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, let's go back and talk about the Harriet Tubman chapter.
Please.
Yes, 50 Shades of Slaves. Bring it.
Seems to be everyone's favorite.
Yeah. You know, and truthfully, it was one of my favorites. And it was actually, I thought it was very clever. And I thought it was more touching than they thought. They were looking at it from a racial standpoint, whereas I wasn't. So the book ends, and then it picks up 3 years later. And this is going in the sequel. So you guys you'll get a heads up of it. But so it picks up 3 years later, and he's roaming through the woods in Philadelphia, like outside of Pennsylvania, and he's been on the run. He's fucking gassed, like he's been killing people, and he's still looking. He's still looking for his son. I'm not going to give away what happens there, but he's still looking for his family, and Samantha Davis. So what happens is he's exhausted, and he pulls up to this cabin for the night, and it's Harriet Tubman's cabin, but they don't introduce each other. So he thinks he's just meeting a random black woman. So he's like, look, I'm exhausted. I just need someone to bathe me. And, maybe if I could put my dick in someplace warm, it'd be awesome.
God.
So Tubman bathes him. They still don't know it's her. And she drops the washcloth, and it rises up out of the water like the Loch Ness Monster on his dick. And he's like, I think you dropped your washcloth. She's like, oh my. And she's taken aback. So as they're about to fuck, he pulls down her dress, and he sees all these whipping marks on her back. And he's like, oh, were you whipped? I don't know. Were you attacked by pumas? And she was like, no, my slave master did this to me. And he didn't, St. James had always lived out west, so he didn't understand slavery. So she explains it to him. He looks over at his belt, and it's still got dried blood on it for where he had beaten Ron. grabs the belt and wraps it around her hand and says, I tell you what, why don't you be my slave master tonight? I want you to whip the shit out of me. So they end up fucking, and she's whipping the shit out of him with his belt. And she gets him away from the marshals at the end. Finally, he was like, by the way, I never caught your name. She was like, it's Tubman, Harriet Tubman. And the fucking book ends. She got him to safety.
Oh, why'd they
That's
cut
so
that
fucking
out?
awesome. Yeah.
It was
So
rad.
amazing.
And I was stoked about it. And they looked at it more from a racial element more than a story point of like, hey, this is really fucking clever. Because it wasn't as if he knocked on the door and said, hey, this is Harriet Tubman and vice versa, and they're having a thing back and forth. Like, he just thought he'd ran into a random slave.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. But they would take that out.
Yeah, it's crazy, and like I bitched enough about it publicly that it's going into the second one.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Awesome.
yeah, because that chapter needs to go back in. It was one of my favorites. It was really fucking good. And anyways, the next one picks up in 1863.
With some of the stuff you wrote, were you expecting like a lot of hate mail, at least to the publisher?
Yeah, but they had published a lot of controversial shit. The woman's name is Judith Regan. Years ago,
User in your channel timed out.
she had published a book for O.J. Simpson called "If I Did It." I don't know if you guys remember that.
I remember.
Yeah, so there was a huge public backlash, and then they burned all of the copies. Only one exists, and it ended up selling on eBay for like $300 or $400 grand. And there was going to be a 1-hour talk show and all this shit on it. It all got nuked, and then after that, she published Howard Stern's Private Parts.
Wow.
So yeah, she was used to controversy, but she didn't want to touch race for some reason.
So I have a question. The Van Burens, did you have anything against them, or was it just like a funny historical reference?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like a shitty president that nobody gives a fuck about, but like that people still know the name of. And you're like, oh yeah, Van Buren. Everybody hates that fucking guy. Like I just thought it was a really funny thing. And in the sequel, he runs into another president, by the way.
What, Taft? Because nobody gives a shit about Taft?
No, I'm not going to say who it is because it's a pretty big story point, but it's a good one. By the way, I'm drinking Lead Slinger's whiskey tonight. I don't know who can see this on video and who can't, but I'm drinking Lead Slinger.
We need some of that in California.
All the way up.
Yeah,
All
need some of that shit in Arizona.
All the way up.
Yeah, I need some of that in Raleigh too.
I'm down to Wilmington right now. I got some bottles from the boys, and then I've got a stash, but they're almost out. I tell you what though, an ammo box of Strike Force Energy showed up today. 300 fucking packets.
Oh god.
Jesus. Damn.
You're not gonna
That
sleep
might
for a
be
week.
Someone likes a high heart rate.
I don't know if you guys have it. Holy shit, it's good. We're all fucking addicted to it now.
He snorts it with his Viagra.
There's no need for Viagra over here, my man. It's always all the way up.
Oh no, you just do it for the rush. I didn't say you needed it. It's all about the rush.
It's not 8:45 here.
Yeah, it's 9:37 over here, and the boner's all the way up. So we're good.
Remember, Osh, you might want to go see a doctor that lasts more than 4 hours.
I hope it lasts more than 4 hours. I hope it lasts 12.
That happens when you read the book.
Call
It really does. By the way, Mary Daig brought a pad and had me sign it. I stamped my dick in it and stamped the book for a friend of hers.
Oh, that is awesome.
That was
So
our
somewhere
shot
out in the world there exists a copy of a signed dick stamped book.
Hey Ross, we're gonna have to talk about this later offline.
Yeah, Joe said we've got a brilliant idea.
Joe said dick stamp too. Think
The old dick stamp.
The old dick stamp.
User joined your channel.
The old mushroom stamp.
Joe's next tattoo.
Yep.
Oh wait,
Oh,
Joe
hey.
owes me a tattoo.
Yes.
With
Joe?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, Joe owes me a tattoo at Dragon Con.
I was gonna say we could amend y'all's thing for him to get Ross's dick tattooed on his ass.
Yes, rather than his lips on my
Can we?
Yes, since you lost, Joe, I get to choose a tattoo, and it's Ross's dick on your ass.
All those in favor?
That would be amazing, by the way.
Thank you so much for this.
Hey,
And it
would
has to
that
be
count-
life size. So means
What's-
Ross has to be there.
Would that count as a belt? Less of a tattoo?
Yeah,
All
you
8
need a
inches.
bigger ass.
Yeah, it would go around your waist. So it would end at your ass, but it would definitely go all the way around your waist.
Can we
hey,
make this
by the way, if
tattoo
I could ask
visible
a
so
huge
any
favor of
article-
you guys, if you guys could leave me an awesome review on Amazon, those things really fucking help. The publisher showed that shit. And it determines like how fast the sequel will come out.
No, we got you, man.
Yeah,
I
guys,
really fucking appreciate it.
Without
We're
a doubt, dude.
gonna leave one of those awesome reviews.
Some people are selling your book for like $40 on Amazon.
I know.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's gotten crazy, man. It's gotten crazy. I by the way, the book's my favorite thing that I've ever done, I think, in my career.
It is definitely something very, very proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I had to reread this thing fucking 80 times for the editors and publishers and all that shit. I still think it's pound for pound the funniest book for that length. Like that. I mean, I went hard for the original was 300 pages. I don't know what it ended up being, but I think pound for pound, that's one of the funniest. Where I was like, oh shit, I still laugh almost at every page. There's something in there that's like, oh man, that's really fucked up, Russ.
It ended up being 255.
Oh, did it? 255. Great.
So when Joe was out here in DC, we went to Barnes and Noble, and they already have it in stock now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
Put
Yeah, I mean,
shout out on the Drinking Bros.
It's funny. It's sold out a lot of places, and it's a lot like Range 15. I don't think they know the audience or know you guys or the fan base for this shit, and they underestimate it. And I will say this: like that opening box office number for Range 15 will be pretty big as well.
We've sold out twice now in Ashburn for the 29th.
That's amazing.
In less than 24 hours the second time, in less than 72 hours the first time.
And you've seen the movie, correct?
I've seen it twice, yeah.
Yeah, we were up there in DC. Yeah, brag about more Tommy.
Whoa.
What was somebody promising me?
It's that good. That good, right?
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's so amazing. I almost, well, maybe I did pee myself a little bit when I saw it the first time.
She cried so hard.
It was
Wait,
great.
She laughed so hard, tears ran down her legs.
So bring the pen.
Awesome. By the way, it's okay to urinate in the theater. I watched a Beatles documentary, and there was a weird like road manager for the Beatles back in the day, and they were like, describe what it was like when they came on stage, and he was like, after they left the stage, the floors were soaked with preteen urine. All the girls were urinating all over the floor with excitement. So that's the way I feel about Range 15. You can urinate on the floor.
Yep, and it happened.
Something tells me that wasn't pee, though.
Was that Jason Statham?
Yeah, it was a shitty Jason Statham impression.
I just watched Spy and like the outlandish stories that he tells during that.
That movie's amazing because of Jason.
Yeah.
By the way, I know him in real life. He's a really fun dude.
Yeah, wasn't he a footballer before? No, he was a diver.
Yeah, he's only like 5'1", no lie. Like he can't be taller than 5'1", 5'2". He can't drink, and he's best friends with Vinnie Jones, who I've done a couple movies with, and he invited me to his birthday party. The motherfucker, he's so little, he was blacked out by like 10:30 p.m.
You said he can't drink?
No, he cannot drink. He cannot.
He's a lightweight.
Yeah, but he probably weighs like 130. No lie.
Oh Jesus.
He's
Even
pocket
being that
size.
ripped?
He's a really little man, but the way he carries himself is so like powerful that if it's the way he looks at you from like across the room, he can still shoot a look, and you were like, oh man, maybe that 5'1" guy could beat my ass. Like, and then you get next to him, and you're like, oh no, he definitely cannot. He definitely cannot. And his fiance, or at the time I think it was his girlfriend, she's like 6'1".
So, Rose, whatever, from Transformers?
Yeah, I didn't see Transformers, but yeah, I think she was like a Victoria's Secret model.
It sucks. Yep. Yes, she was.
Well, look, Sir Anthony Hopkins is in the new Transformers, so have fun with that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse, kids. It's only going to get worse.
God damn it.
Hannibal Lecter meets Optimus Prime. I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Put the robot oil
with a nice lead slinger.
I mean, granted, I like Transformers 4 because it didn't have the whiny bitch, and also it had that girl in it, Amanda Fox, in it too.
Oh, Megan Fox?
Whatever. The whiny bitch was Shiloh.
Autobots.
With the great
Autobots
ass.
roll out.
I'm a fan of that buff, dude. I'm a fan of his shit.
You're a new fan of Anthony
He's got
Hopkins,
some
you
good
said?
content. I will agree with you on that, Ross. But the way he's portrayed in Transformers, he's just a whiny bitch.
Yeah. Look, they don't put a lot of time and effort into those scripts. Like, I can tell you that first and foremost.
You can tell.
I think I read for the first one or the second one. I auditioned. I think I auditioned for the first two. There is no dialogue. It's just a lot of looks and fucking reactions and shit like that. And it's when you read that script, you could be reading anything. I mean, if it didn't tell you it had robots in it, like, I mean, it literally could be Independence Day or anything else.
It's like I looked at the blank and gave it a stare.
Yeah, it's exactly how it is. Essentially, they go into very great detail about the robots, how they fight each other, what they look like, things like that. But there's very little dialogue.
Hey,
So I have another book question.
Childhood.
Sorry, go ahead.
It really shows on the movie, so.
Go ahead, Joe.
I do have one huge favor. Someone tell whoever in Maine to freaking approve my post, because I'm trying to share the Facebook live feed with Maine, and it's not on Maine yet.
I thought you were an admin.
The main.
No, I'm an admin in Nerds.
Yeah. Bros. Hang on. Let me phone a friend.
There it is. I think Eric just heard it.
All right, never mind.
There it is.
All right, so I have a legit publishing question. How long did it take you to actually get this thing published?
Let's see. From sale to stores, it was 8 months.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad. I mean, I had a strong hook of the the first ever romance novel for dudes was a very strong hook. So people were, they were kind of racing it out, and 50 Shades of Grey was about to come out, the movie version. The book had already crushed, so I had a really strong hook, but a lot of people, it's a lot longer.
How did you talk your wife into doing this kind of stuff?
Dude, she's fucking hilarious, actually. She's really fucking funny, and like as an actor, you get to play so many different characters if you're around me. So for her, it's a blast. For everyone else, it's the same question of like, holy shit, she must hate all of this. No, but she loves it. She loves it.
That's awesome. You found the one, man.
I know, right? And she's Helen Keller, so there's not often you get to marry Helen Keller.
Right? And she got to work with Lin Shaye. I mean, does it get any better than that?
Hey, speaking of Helen Keller's, hey Ross, is there something going on tomorrow night?
Yes,
Right?
tomorrow
I
night
was gonna
on the
talk
Ross
about that
Patterson
too.
fan page, we are going live. It'll be the first movie ever streamed on Facebook live around the world. We're streaming Helen Keller versus Nightwolves, and Range 15 will the trailer will play in front of it.
Nice.
That movie is awesome.
The one good thing about being married to Helen Keller is she can always see eye to eye with you.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Do you know how many Helen Keller jokes are posted like on my wall or emailed to me on a daily basis?
I envy you.
All of them?
Every one of them. That and Peter Dinklage. You can't out dink me. You can't out Keller me. I've literally seen them all.
You know
Do you think you can dedicate a page to that?
To Keller or to Dinklage?
To the Keller page, to the Keller stuff.
You know, there's a Helen Keller versus Nightwolves fan page on Facebook, but then also there is a guy on Twitter who owns he runs a Twitter account called Helen Keller, and all he does is tell like 3 Helen Keller jokes a day on it.
Wow. That page is amazing.
He's got like 1 million followers.
You would think that Helen Keller would like for me. I would think she would be blind to my advances.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Killing it tonight. Killing it.
Ouch. Ouch.
I'll be here all night.
Please go home.
No.
Oh, by the way, Ross, that was a pretty good. Fuck, I'm losing my train of thought. Morgan Freeman impressions you did on the podcast. Those were awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
I appreciate it. I do. Here's a fun fact. I do like over 100 impressions.
I want to hear Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I always thought I would end up on SNL.
That's my favorite.
Oh, McConaughey?
McConaughey.
Yes, absolutely. That funnier die video, oh my god. It's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. You know, ironically, that dude got SNL over me, so it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Which one?
Taron Killam.
Yes, Taron Killam?
Yeah.
That echo?
That's Ross holding down his push to speak button.
Oh, okay.
I will say, am I being the asshole here tonight, Joe? Am I fucking up your whole night?
Well, you invested in all the headphones.
Oh, should I have headphones?
Well, it's only for when you speak, and that way, the microphone, when you hit the push to talk button, it won't catch up. It won't catch anything that's coming over your speaker. So, like, if you push the push to talk button right now, and I'm speaking, the microphone will just catch whatever I'm speaking, and then that reverb will be terrible.
I'll plug in some headphones. Give me 2 seconds. They're right here.
All right.
Oh no.
All right.
Just let you all know, I just remanded Ross Patterson on Facebook Live, and I'm gonna go bury my head now.
Ross, you can tear them apart any moment you want.
Yeah, you really did, Joe. You treated me like I was a fucking son to me, like I was a fucking son of yours.
Thanks for sitting back down. Thanks for sitting back down, Ross. I lost my masturbation rhythm right there.
Well, let's just wait for him to come back.
I will say this, Joe's been
You're
on fire
welcome.
like Paul Walker.
A moment of silence for Joe Wood while he tries to figure out he's in a different room.
Yeah, now I've got the headphones in. I feel like Eminem, like right before a rap battle.
You got to hold one hand over your ear, though.
There you go, Joe. Punishment.
Right now I'm on the bus. You know, I'm just rapping on the bus. So
you can heat those beats harder than Hiroshima got hit by that bomb.
Wow.
I think it's
too soon.
Too soon for Hiroshima.
Too soon.
For Hiroshima.
I think you guys need to apologize to the Japanese for Hiroshima.
Nah.
Yeah, I think Obama already did.
Oh!
That was in reference to that?
Yeah, I know.
Joe wouldn't apologize to his overlords. Don't ask him to do that.
Blame Joe. That is all.
When in doubt, blame Joe.
I don't know.
Always.
I think he could hit some beats harder than Helen Keller falls downstairs.
Oh shit!
God damn.
He definitely sees more than her.
So, Ross, welcome to TeamSpeak.
Yeah, this is generally where we end up on TeamSpeak.
Yeah, pretty
shit
much.
Shit gets
Oh,
real
this is a
dark.
sober.
I like it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the really bad players in here tonight, but sometimes it gets really bad.
Thank
Fortunately,
God.
we don't have the really bad players.
Right? Can we give a big thank you for that?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm sober tonight, so that's the good thing.
Okay, guys, so let me ask you this. If Helen Keller fell down in the woods, would she make a sound?
Would anyone care?
Oh boy! Literally, I've heard every one of these, Helen Keller jokes.
Well, then let's switch to Dinklage jokes, because I love Peter Dinklage.
I heard he's half the man he used to be.
The Dink.
I heard Peter Dinklage is half the man he used to be.
Yeah, he literally is. He literally is. By the way, he's got a normal-sized wife.
But he has a child-sized Razor scooter.
Blame Joe.
Blame Joe.
Wait, we do have one of the troublemakers coming in and out.
Have not caused any trouble tonight.
No, we might have one popping in and out.
How did he know it was him, though, is what I like. He already knew it was him going in.
On a real question with the book, how much freedom did you really have with the book in total?
In total, I had a lot because I wrote it first. So typically, like when you have a big lit agent, you do these things called proposals. So you'll kind of outline chapters, but they're not very specific. You'll kind of tell them what your story is going to be or about to be, and then you'll send out that proposal. They'll either decide to buy it or not. With me, I knew this book was so crazy that I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to write the entire thing first. And it was more of a shoot first, ask questions later type of thing. I would rather the book stand up on its own as a whole than somebody shoot it down just for the idea. Because once the idea gets shot down, you can't go back. So it wouldn't even matter if I wrote the book again. They weren't going to take it out again.
Was that the similar situation with Range 15, or is that only because you guys funded it, you basically can tell everybody to go fuck themselves?
Yes. If we did not fund this movie, if you guys didn't fund this movie, at a studio level, they would not approve the script. Not only would they not approve the script, but Matt Best would have been played by fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's still not rated, right?
Yeah, look, it's unrated for a reason. When you go in to rate something, the MPAA charges you $5,000 up front just to rate your movie. We already know our movie's going to be an R. But whether the question is whether your movie will be an R or an NC-17 or possibly an X. You've seen the movie. There's some questionable scenes in there that it would have been pushed to an X. And I think that would have been unfair, especially in comedy. If we were doing a snuff film, sure. But in comedy, that's to me, the MPAA is full of shit. You have to be 17 to go see a rated R movie anyways. Why what's an NC-17 versus an R? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah, having seen the movie, it's not like there are scenes where you may see one appendage, but you don't really see anyone attached to somebody.
I'll put it this way: there was a sex scene that was highly questionable to them, and then there was unnecessary murders that they deemed unnecessary. So
it's a zombie film; they're all necessary.
Right?
Yeah, but
exactly.
Again, without giving any of it away, there's some humans that get killed for no reason that they were just like, oh, well, why the fuck did you do this? One in particular that a lot of people had a problem with.
Probably.
Just say napalm.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's tough. Again, but if you make it on your own and finance it on your own, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can release it and tell everybody to go fuck themselves, which is what we did. And I think why this movie will live on for a long, long time.
I'm glad it went the route it did because it's fantastic.
Thanks. I love it. I love it. And by the way, stick around. Those of you going to see it in the theaters next week, stick around after the credits. There's a 15-minute featurette that shows everybody who made it and why, and literally the exact things I'm talking about right now are at the end described from each individual's perspective.
Nice.
So the first time I saw it was in I saw it with Jenna in North Carolina, and after that 15-minute like pre-documentary, the documentary at the end, people were like silent. They were just stunned because I think some of them were actually crying.
Yeah. And in the screenings I've been to, there was a lot of pride. There was a lot of tears from people, and it made you feel every single last part of you that donated and why you donated is summed up in that last 15 minutes after the credits. So you'll know that your money went to a great place and a great cause when you see that 15 minutes afterwards, because it doesn't get any more powerful than that.
I mean, if it's anything like what happened at SHOT Show at the Beyond Shot party, with you could see the connection going back to the veterans and helping them out. It's gonna be the shit.
Yeah, and it does. And there's you're gonna see a lot. You'll see all the amputees. You'll see everybody who was a part of it, who was behind the scenes, who was people who donated, Indiegogo, all that stuff. They're all in this documentary, and it's people from all over the country that came in to help shoot the movie.
Yeah, there's really cool stuff that Nick talked about in the documentary. Like, for instance, the whole craft table. The whole, like, some people were allowed at the craft table, and then some people weren't, and they said, fuck it, everybody's allowed at the craft table.
Yeah, and that comes down to a budget thing where, if you're on a traditional studio movie, like, I don't know, let's take Accepted, just because I was in that. And
Great movie.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait.
I can tell you
Spurman.
Exactly, Spurman. I can tell you, when you go to lunch on a big studio movie like that, it's divided like the 1960s diners. There's extras on one side, crew on one side, and then main cast and main directors on the other, and you're eating different food. There's different drinks, there's different food, there's a whole different menu for you. And most people who don't shoot movies wouldn't know that. And then you get there, and it's like, they're trying to divide people, and it's like, oh, hey, no, we're not doing that on this. So it was really cool to see.
Well, I mean, Ross, a quick thing about that. It's like that in the military with officers and enlisted, where they do the split eating arrangements. And I could definitely see why a bunch of the guys would get behind, like, saying, fuck that.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the cast and crew, like, because, typically the cast eats separately, and exactly like you explained, everybody ate together, everybody hung out together. Shit. I mean, by the end of that shoot, it felt like a Grateful Dead movie. There was like, fuck, man, maybe 100, 120 people just hanging out watching by the last 3 days.
Well,
great.
I'm pretty sure Nick is pretty glad that didn't happen, because I'm sure his ass would be sitting alone somewhere while he listens to everything else.
It's because he's a West Pointer.
Yes, it'll be either August or September.
I wonder how much alcohol is going to be snuck into these fucking screenings.
I'm bringing my flask.
Well, a lot of the theaters serve. The one that I'm hosting 2 in Wilmington, one of the last theater that I'm hosting is serving liquor and beer and wine. So that's going to be a rowdy show.
Same for the one on the 29th up here in Virginia, in Ashburn. It's a full-on menu, and we're specifically asking for hot dogs to be served and Killcliff.
Oh, that's so good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's look, you have a few drinks at these movies, they're even better, obviously.
I think a lot of us did some pre-gaming before the DC showing.
Yeah, just a few. Just a few. And then the award show, you were there for the awards, but we totally heckled the whole thing.
I heard from the people that were there, and it's funny, privately behind the scenes, they were like, look, we had to give Range 15 this award or else they'd burn the fucking theater down.
It's true.
Man,
they know how to do it.
The Drinking Bros really represented, and we livened that place up.
Hey, it was a blast. We walked in and everybody was screaming and chanting. That was our funnest screening yet. Walter Reed was amazing because we were at Walter Reed, and that's the one for life thing. As far as the energy and like how crazy everyone was, that DC screening was fucking nuts.
We got messages. One was like, hey, we'd love to have you back. The other was like, well, maybe not so much.
Yeah, look, part of me gets it, part of me doesn't. I mean, I think they were expecting something different. If you want my honest opinion, I don't even know if they watched the fucking movie until like 2 days before we got there. Imagine how shocking that was for them.
Right? Yeah, I bet they weren't expecting that.
It's like watching Two Girls, One Cup.
Wow.
Yeah.
But better.
Who said that? I want to kick that person for putting that image in my head right now.
What, Two Girls, One Cup?
Oh, really?
That guy. Kick him.
Fuck you.
This time it wasn't Starscream.
Okay, so Josh from the Facebook blog, he can't be here tonight, but he wanted to big shout out to Big Daddy Patterson over here, also for helping him choose his cosplay outfit he's going to do for the premiere, I guess. Costume.
Hooray for cosplay!
Yay!
Is he going as Vandenham? Is he going as Gene Vandenham?
Wait, did he get a blonde pompadour?
He better.
I hope to God he does.
I hope he grows one.
By the way, that was real.
I just hope he grows.
Wait, you actually grew your hair out just for that?
Yeah, I dyed it blonde. Like that shit, I finally just got the last part of it out of my hair maybe 30 days ago.
I'm going to the premiere as a skinny JD.
So Lindsay Harden and I were going to do cosplay.
Yes.
So Lindsay Harden and I were going to do cosplay. I was going to go as Catwoman. She was going to go as Poison Ivy, but that didn't play out.
Look, both are equally sexy characters, so it would have livened up the whole shit. But maybe next time, Dana. Maybe next time.
I mean, you could cosplay Rocco. You could cosplay Rocco, but you just look like every other Mexican.
True story. True story. He looks like an extra from Training Day.
I don't know, man. Dana has an awesome Harley Quinn cosplay.
By the way, fun fact, they're making a fucking Harley Quinn spinoff. So.
Yes, they sure are, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I have a feeling every Halloween character, every girl is going to be dressed as that for Halloween this year.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been cosplaying as Harley for years, and it's sort of losing its fun.
What, you mean like you mean like going to a Comic-Con and seeing every girl dressed up like it?
Right.
Pretty much.
Is it the hot pants one or the traditional one?
Traditional-ish.
Kind of.
Because
Think
I'm
so.
saying, like, how many of the, like, when you saw them over saturating with the Harleys, Were they the new ones or were the traditional?
It was
It's
a
the new
mix, really.
Suicide Squad one. We saw a ton of the new Suicide Squad ones.
Well, yeah, but it was a mix. I mean, you saw a lot of the older ones too.
There's a
I
lot
like
of
the other
classic
ones.
Harley and a lot of the new Suicide Squad.
The best that I saw was in Seattle. There were Latex Girls, and they were awesome.
I bet.
Just freaking amazing.
How much prep is made to get into one of those?
It depends. It depends on what you're doing.
So I mean, for the latex, I've never seen the latex suits.
So I have
would've-
a question about your book.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So when you said broke dick, were you referencing a certain movie that we love of yours?
And you said what?
Yeah, I was
Broke
actually.
dick.
I'm so happy you caught that. That's from the new guy.
Yep.
I thought so.
That's why I have my book signed, Broke Dick.
It's that was totally a new guy throwback. If you look at every single project I've ever done, there is one line that references another movie that I've done.
That's a lot of dialogue to sit through.
Love it.
That's pretty awesome.
It is, but it's totally worth it. Like that one comment, that's all I needed the entire book was just one person to be like, hey, by the way, that broke dick thing, was that from the new guy? Yeah, it was.
I totally caught that reference too. I just didn't think about saying anything about it.
Why not? Bro dick.
How is DJ Qualls in real life?
Strange guy. Very nice, very polite, very professional to work with, but
weird as fuck.
Yes, he definitely marches to his own beats. He doesn't eat a lot. I remember we went to dinner and he had 3 hush puppies. The waitress tripped. 2 of them dropped on the floor, and he said all he needed was 1, and that was going to be his entire dinner.
Well, no shit, he doesn't eat. Look at how skinny he is.
Yeah, but I think he's got like a medical thing. I don't think it's like a life choice. But either way, he's a strange guy. He's from Tennessee, and they give you like per diem money for being on set every day. It's usually like $100, $150, and that's for like food or gas or whatever later. He had saved all of it and bought himself like a Mac computer at the end, and he didn't eat or buy anything to drink once. I know that's a weird story.
It's actually pretty cool to hear like the inside that we would never hear out here in the normal world.
Hey, how many people have seen that movie, by the way? How many people have seen The New Guy?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck it. All right, cool.
I still own it on DVD.
Perfect. I'm going to give you a story then that'll blow your fucking mind. The movie was shut down. They had to shut down production for 3 days because our security guard hung himself in that high school we shot that movie in.
Oh, wow.
Shut up.
You ready for me to take it to another level?
Yes.
Yes.
He hung himself strangle baiting in women's clothes.
Oh! Wait.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You pulled a David Carradine?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that didn't make it in the book.
Only in women's panties.
There was do you guys remember a show called Third Rock from the Sun?
Yes.
All right, so Kristen Johnson, the tall blonde, she was originally supposed to play the guidance counselor in the movie. She had a drug problem massively, could not even say her lines or anything else. They brought in Ileana Douglas, who was amazing. Anyways, the security guard was in love with Kristen Johnson, took her wardrobe, put it on, pantyhose, wig, dress, high heels, everything, strangle baited inside that high school that we shot the movie and hung himself, and they had to shut down production for 3 days.
Holy shit.
I mean, I would have strangle baited to Elijah Dushku, maybe.
Wow, I'm not going to go there. By the way, I forgot this was on Facebook. I probably shouldn't have told that story.
Too late now.
Too late.
How fucked was that actress?
Video.
Hey, us peasants got a little window into where the throne. It happens in the throne room.
No, look, nobody's a peasant. maybe this shouldn't have been recorded live. But yeah, I've had a few drinks. People get wild.
Wait, how fucked was that actress after that?
She got fired. So, Ileana Douglas came in, did the role, knocked it out, and then left. So, like, nobody knew. I was one of maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 people on the set who knew, because it just didn't make sense to me why they were shutting down production for 3 days, especially on a 3-month shoot. You just don't do that very often.
So, what was it like to be stuffed in a trash can?
I wasn't stuffed in the trash can, but the midget I stuffed in that trash can was not amped about it.
So Jeremy Rogers on Facebook Live says, "Loving the shirt, Ross."
Yeah, go Bucks. Tell them go Buckeyes.
Remind me, I got a meme that I got of you. It's of you in the USC background. I got to repost that because it's been a couple months.
It hurts my heart. Can we not do that, please?
It would only hurt my feelings if USC was good.
Ooh.
Oh! Ross, this has been a really great evening. Have a wonderful time. I'm going to go ahead and go.
Are you a USC fan?
I am.
Yeah. Hey, OJ went there. OJ Simpson went there, so.
He took a real stab at it.
A lot of great players went to USC. I'm just saying, Ross.
She is a really huge USC fan, and the house that we stayed at when we were in Phoenix, huge USC fans.
Yeah, how's that house? Josh Morris, another Drinking Bro nerd.
Yep,
they have an entire
in the USC bedroom. It's why we're such good friends.
They have an entire room like decked out, like everything is color coded in that room. Like it's ridiculous.
Here's what I love about OJ Simpson going to USC. It's their online address. It's // USC. So.
Wow.
Okay, is there any other questions? I'm about to delve into the Facebook feed right now for questions, but anybody else have anything else before I start digging through the Facebook questions?
Yeah, I got a question real quick.
Sorry, go ahead.
Ross, when are you going to appear in one of the Lincoln's Box Seat songs?
Yeah, it's funny. I chided Matt over that on the fucking podcast because I can out-rap him. I can out-rap him, and I think he's afraid of that.
Well, you've already put him to shame in skee-ball. So.
I know, and I will wrap him under the table, and he has no idea. Truth of the matter is we're in 2 different cities, so it'll be soon.
Yeah.
As soon as we get in the same city, it'll be easier. I have been editing Range 15 probably for the last 6 months, so I'm just kind of assimilating back into the real world right now.
Well, just tell him you want a rundown of the Star Course, and he'll magically appear in Fort Bragg.
Oh yeah. Jesus, if you challenge him in a shooting competition, you show up anywhere. The only one who can beat him is Evan Hafer, by the way.
Really?
Evan's an assassin, I heard.
So with Totally Fucking Mexico, how the hell did you come up with that?
There was a friend of mine who, she's like a snarky critic, and she put a thing up on online where she was like, me and my girlfriends are going totally Mexico this weekend, and I was like, that can't be a real fucking thing that you guys do. And they were wearing like sombreros and going on like some Mexican cruise, and I was like, it would be fucking hilarious if you named a kid Totally Fucking Mexico and the kid was crazy.
How did that escalate into punching eagles out of the sky for lunch? Because that is by far my favorite.
Oh man, I loved him punching bald eagles down out of the sky. That and the dead leprechaun.
Yeah. I killed a leprechaun. It's in the barn. Bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, sure you did it, buddy. Like, yeah, way to go. And then, but I love that callback when St. James is like, come clean the dead leprechaun out of the fucking barn.
So I think Daniel was one of my favorite characters. That kid could not die.
Spoiler alert, he is in the sequel.
Yes.
Like you said, he can't die.
He can't die.
And his dad's the fucking Highlander, apparently.
He will die. Here's the thing. So I have this mapped out. There's 6 books total. This is the first one. And because a lot of people are like, do you know where it's going? Yes, I do. I know where all the characters are going, and I even know when the very last second and day that St. James is going to quit telling his story.
And that's when you release the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd like to do it now and then just write a book and then the season, a book and then the season, a book and the season. Truthfully, the biggest problem I have is I'm not famous enough to push a TV show through, and that's the God's honest truth. If I was Seth Rogen, the show would be on fucking HBO right now.
Agreed.
So what do we need to do to make it so?
Right? That was my next question.
Yeah, dead serious. If it becomes a bestseller, it forces everybody's hand. It makes the sequels faster. Like, because you were asking about the run-up time of it too. It pushes the sequels out faster. It pushes a TV show and a movie out faster. Any success based on a bestseller gets made pretty quickly. Like 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, fuck, they put that thing into production way too soon.
So,
yeah, it was
do we need to
fucking terrible.
Do we need to kidnap? Need to kidnap Seth Rogen? Is that what you're telling us?
Kidnap Seth Rogen. Reviews on Amazon really, really fucking help because
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it pushes it towards the top. You know, the more reviews, the better. On Amazon in particular, iTunes not so much, but Amazon really, really fucking helps. That pushes it faster. And again, like the more you keep talking about it online, the bigger it becomes. Because I love the book, and it's, you know, next to Range 15, one of my most favorite things I've ever done.
I gave you my 5-star about 4 hours ago, so one step
I'm writing
closer.
mine right now.
God damn it, I appreciate it.
Where's your iPad?
And actually, your book was the second fastest book I've ever read.
That was the first one, the Bible? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it wasn't.
It was a Penthouse magazine.
The others were picture books.
No, it was actually the first Harry Potter.
Mine was Dr. Seuss, One Fish, Two Fish.
Yes, 1 fish, 2 fish, beans and rice, stir fry, so on and so on.
That took Joe about a week to read, though.
Yeah. Joe, your parents named you the most basic name ever in case you were too dumb to forget it.
Hey. My name is freaking awesome. Do you have any idea what it's like to go through basic training with the last name Wood and your first name's Private?
I never even thought about that.
Hey, Joe, do you know how many jokes about my last name I've heard throughout my entire life?
What's your last name?
Book.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Wait, is that David?
Yeah,
Yes.
Starscream's David Book.
Yes, that's me.
All right, everyone, hold on just 1 second. You know, just because we didn't observe the formalities, I'm going to go down the list one by one here and introduce everyone to Ross Patterson here. Because everyone knows who he is, but he doesn't know who the hell he's talking to. Yeah. So, from the top.
From the top. To the top.
All the way
up.
All the way up. I am Ross Patterson, the brilliant novelist of At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed, the first ever romance novel for dudes, and the writer-director of Range 15.
My name is Junior Burns. I am a kick-ass tanker in the United States Army and a idiot McNuff.
I love that was fast.
I'm Tommy. I'm an admin on the Nerds page, and I do marketing for a living.
Cougar.
Yeah, and I'm the Cougar admin. Rawr.
I'm the bat.
Yeah, my name is Wood, and y'all know about me, so I'm skipping down.
Starbucks.
He really
Yeah,
did. Honestly, I was
He
talking
did.
to EJ, and this motherfucker squealed so hard like a girl.
that's awesome. No, I still have some friends left. I saved some space, so I started Facebook really late.
We appreciate it.
Right? Yeah.
No, look, fuck. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate you guys reading the book.
Rebel
No.
Scum, you're up next.
Jenna.
My name is Jenna, and I'm an admin at Nerd. Yeah.
And the most adorable admin.
Absolutely. Nope. She holds it.
I wouldn't go that far.
I
Robin?
do look better in a dress than you do, Wood.
True.
Amen to that.
True.
Right?
Just wait for the video. It's coming out soon.
He was on a ship. It's okay. He understands being a dress.
Robin?
I'm Julia. I'm one of the admins on.
Welcome.
Wow, that's great.
She cut out.
Yeah, that's Julia. She's one of our admins. Super fun. We gave her the Robin Sparkles name. Actually, Joe, did you give her the Robin Sparkles name? Because
I did give her the Robin Sparkles name because she's Canadian.
Yes, I am Canadian.
Eh?
Don't
Oh,
you know?
sure.
Oh yeah.
Did you get the true quote?
Hey.
What's this all about?
Zool?
I'm Dana. Because there is no Dana, only Zool. And I'm an admin for DB Nerds. And I help put this super fun thing together. And I'm hoping that we can continue to do this. But I don't know that we're ever going to be able to up our very first DB Nerds book club. This is pretty great.
Probably never. Like, I just ruined it for the rest of the end of time for you guys.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you did.
You know what?
You very much
We
did.
just have to shut it down and never do this again because this is kind of amazing.
It is.
Yeah,
This might have to be a one-time thing, and then we'll just go on from here, and we'll call it something else because it will never live up.
Or we could just do Thursday Big Dick Daddy Patterson every single Thursday.
I like
Also would be amazing.
You really could. I could tell you about all the people who hung themselves on movies of mine.
Oh, not to throw everything off track, but when you said that, was there any kind of 3 Men and a Baby thing happen with the movie?
No, I will say this: like, we didn't have very many scenes in that high school after that, and they asked everybody to keep it hush hush. So the few of us that did know, it's just it was kind of on us at that point. But I will say this: I made jokes about it throughout the rest of the shoot. Like, hey guys, hang in there.
13 years, Ross. 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years later, it's no longer a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it probably is. Again, I've had a lot to drink, so this is the second glass tonight.
Let me know when you can finish a bottle.
Okay, Android, you're up next.
Getting close.
Okay, I'm Erica. I go by Erica Face on Facebook, and I just made this thing. So how the hell do I do my name?
I'll have to get with you offline about that.
Nickname?
Time.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe's vaping right now. Do you even vape, bro?
Bro, this is a Newport, man. This is a Newport. And thank you for calling me out, because now everyone knows, because I was trying to quit.
Yeah, you're not quitting.
Little girl.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
Please don't. He might be doing something that's very inappropriate.
Oh,
One
yeah,
hand on the
Joe's quitting.
keyboard.
Joe's
One
quitting
hand on the
cigarettes
keyboard.
just like he's getting healthier and eating.
Keep that camera up, please.
My no drinking thing lasted longer than Joe's no smoking.
Average sized, you're up next.
All right. My name's Matt. I'm friends with Joe and Mary and everybody else in the DB Nerds. Happy to be here, and thanks for coming out, Ross. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for having me, sincerely.
Gatal, if you're listening, you're next.
Going once.
Yeah, I guess he's watching the baseball game.
Twice? Gatal's been skipped.
Oh, Gatal is Christopher Lind, and he's got a messed up microphone and headset, but he wanted to say hello. Christopher
Oh,
Lind
there he
is
goes.
one
He's
of
in
our
the chat.
moderators for DB Nerds. If you look at his profile picture, yes.
He's in the chat. There he is, down there below.
And he also does a lot of editing for some of our videos.
Get Joe off. Hey,
Oh, please don't.
you're next.
Phrasing.
I was going to say hashtag double entendre, but you know.
Phrasing.
Eiffel Tower?
Don't use
Okay,
your
so-
$10 words here.
Get Joe off. Get Joe off of dial-up is Joshua Stabeness. No idea where he's at right now.
Oh, he's another admin for nerds.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Kleenex, you are up. And there's a special story about this Kleenex guy. Kleenex is actually a new father. So he's been dealing with this asshole for the last 3 weeks now.
Hey, I'm Matt Donahoe. I'm a former infantryman, and I'm Joe's best friend, but I keep turning him down because I have standards.
Hey. His best friend? I'm gonna fight you.
Joe doesn't have best friends.
Joe only has coffee.
And dudes he wants to hook up with.
I will fight you.
Fight
Stop
me,
talking
bro.
about Joe.
Mitch.
Hey, I'm Mitch. I'm the guy who's gonna Bill Cosby, Hillary Clinton, and give her an Alaskan lumberjack and leave a copy of At Night She Cries in the pillow next door when she wakes up.
Yes.
That'll do it.
All the way through.
Oh, the rape jokes. They're so fun.
Welcome to Drinking Bros.
All we
really
need is
fucking
Jared Taylor to pop in here for that one.
Yeah. He'd spin you a yarn right now.
I mean, for those of you who don't listen to the podcast, Hillary Clinton is on Jared Taylor's fight on sight list.
Oh man, it's fucking awesome.
And Matt as well. Like everybody, pretty much. Like we said, we're all the way Trump, unfortunately.
Moderate sized Dick Adam.
America at this point.
Well, obviously I'm Adam, and I have a moderate size dick. I'm the jackass who decided to buy the book and give it away for free. I work with what I got. It's like,
Adam is who started all of this. This is where we got this great idea, was from Adam giving away a copy of your book.
Yeah,
so thank you,
way to
Adam.
go, Adam. Thank you, Adam. I
Adam is the
appreciate
shit.
it.
well, it's actually give a little understanding of that. So I deal with the knife community a lot, tactical knives, and they on their forums they have giveaways for people who actually participate. And the short version is sometimes I like to just do random good shit for no reason because fucking karma. And it's Ross's goddamn book. Get that bitch out there.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. It really is the best book ever written, too. Let's be honest. Let's really be honest with each other.
Well, what happened was Moses tried to put it on the tablets and he fucked up, so he just said, Ten Commandments is second best.
Yeah, I mean, this really should be the new Bible. That's what I'm promoting it as.
Princess Black Sausage. This woman
Snicker.
right here is
Don't
very
start,
special.
Joseph.
She's very special.
Very special.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I am one half of the dynamic duo Biracial Sausage.
Okay.
Were you the one that did the video with the high socks?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Huge fan of your work.
Well, thank you. That means a lot coming from you, Ross.
I watched it like 15 times. Huge fan. First time viewer.
I had the video for like 3 days. I've watched it like 3,000 times already.
Razor Road or Razor Road.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of fans. You've got a lot of fans out there, Lindsay.
Yeah, you hit it right. Yeah, I've listened to the podcast and whatnot, and I'd probably be hanging around the Drinking Bros bit a bit from now on, and maybe get in with some games with you guys. That'd be awesome. But I'm looking forward to.
Age from Drinker Bro Maine, or have you been in Nerds? Because if not, you need to join Nerds.
I've joined Nerds. I was up until a few days ago unaware of your existence, and then I was like, oh, that's where I need to be, because yes, I'm a nerd too, and I like Drinking Bro.
Silky thong.
Well, if you haven't seen my ass, I know Ross has.
Do I get to rub it?
It's on Facebook. We
Your
posted
ass?
it.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Bunch of us
Shawnee
have parted
Rondor.
with it.
I'm one of the.
What happened?
TeamSpeak took a big shit.
I can't handle our awesomeness.
Hashtag blame Joe.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So everyone's rejoining the chat group again. But before Shawnee cut off, Shawnee was actually, when I first met him, was in D.C. and he was standing on the corner in nothing but his silkies.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I met him too. That was pretty fucking amazing.
That's the first time most of us met him.
Yeah, Shawnee, I still have your D20 dice cage for you.
By the way, Lindsay, did your husband shoot that video for At Night She Cries while he rides his steed?
He did shoot that video, and it inspired us later that evening, Ross.
You're welcome. That's all I wanted to do in this world, was inspire other people to make love.
And now she's pregnant.
If you are pregnant, you've got to fucking name the baby after me.
Totally fucking Mexico.
We're gonna name him James.
Totally fucking Mexico. You name him Totally fucking Mexico. TFM.
Done. Consider it done.
Spanky Claymore, you're up.
Hello, is this thing on?
Yes.
It sure is.
Well, I'm Sergio Alba. I'm on Drinking Bros Nerds, and I'm 48 years sober.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Are you really?
Yeah, I never drank before, but I don't know why I joined a thing called Drinking Bros, but hey, I'm a designated
Because
driver.
we're fucking epic.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I'm sober too. Been sober 9 years. So nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, no, you don't. That's the thing. You don't have to drink to be a member of Drinking Bros. That's often a misconception.
Absolutely.
You don't. You just have to be a cool fucking person and somebody to hang out with. It doesn't matter what's in your glass. Everybody's a part of the community.
Hey, if you need a drink, there's some Strike Force energy that you could throw in some water right there. You could be a drinking bro like that. And if you put in the promo code Drinking Bros with the G, you will be Sean Matson's very favorite #1 person.
Ethan's gonna have to move over.
You get
because you're the
20%
new
off.
pusher admin.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna shameless plug here. But Sean Matson is a really cool drinking bro and a great nerd. He just joined Nerds not too long ago, and that motherfucker's hilarious.
He's coming down here. I'm having dinner with him next Thursday in Wilmington.
Hey,
All the
Ross.
way up.
Hey, we got Matt Costas asking if you can share any awesome Barry Broswick stories.
Oh, Barry Bostwick. Yes. Barry Bostwick was, for those who don't know, is one of the finest actors we have. He's won a Golden Globe. He's in a bunch of my movies. He was FDR in FDR American Badass. He was the love interest in Helen Keller versus Nightwolves, which will, if you haven't seen it, it'll screen tomorrow night on my Facebook page around the world for free. He is truly the funniest, most brilliant actor that I've ever had the privilege to work with. And if I could work with one guy for the rest of my career, it is 100% him. His funny stories are more offset. Like, he's the guy that just gets unlucky and shit, like every single situation it goes. And I love him more than life. Barry Bostwick is the shit.
And the man was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Does it get any better than that?
Who was he in Rocky Horror Picture Show?
He was Brad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. So last three people, we're gonna knock it out real quick. Starscream.
Hi guys, I'm David Book. They call me Starscream. I don't know why, but I just ran with it. Like,
I thought you picked it.
Nah.
No, Ethan did.
Yeah. I'm a former combat engineer, lifelong nerd. Love me some DB nerds. Love what you do, Ross. Love what everybody does. Awesome.
Hawk the
Thank
Trek.
you, man.
Yes, Hawk the Trek.
Wolfheart.
What's up, guys? I'm also Joe, infantry sergeant. Been in about 8 years now. I love Star Wars, probably my biggest fandom. And Superman will always beat Goku in a fight.
Negative.
Ouch.
And he's a moderator who has just been fired.
DB nerd.
Get out.
And we saved the best for last. We have Neil Yogi himself just joined the channel.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Hey guys.
Yay.
I guess if y'all don't know, I'm the founder behind DB Nerds. And I've regretted that decision for over a year now.
Liar. Oh, we love you, Neil.
It's going to haunt you the rest of your life.
It already is.
But we had the best Dragon Con ever.
Hey Neil,
Yes, we did.
This order over
Only
here,
to
Neil,
be
says you're
trumped by
wrong.
this next Dragon Con.
Fuck you both for being able to go.
Phoenix Con trumped your last year's Dragon Con, but we'll see. We'll see about this year.
Well, we'll see.
Well, this year
We'll
we
see.
might actually
We'll
get
see.
Ross Patterson to Dragon Con.
Ooh.
Ross, September 2nd.
And you know what's awesome about you coming to Dragon Con is you don't have to cosplay. You just show up as yourself.
You know, it's funny. September 2nd actually is my last Range 15 screening. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio.
Well,
I don't know.
September 3rd.
They have flights now. They're called Red Eyes. I suggest taking one.
No. I will be there. We're screening in Columbus, Ohio, the 2nd and 3rd at the Gateway Center. If anyone is in Columbus, Ohio.
OH.
Well, I'll give you a little incentive to come to Dragon Con. Me, Tommy, Lindsay, and Dana are all rooming together.
Yep.
Boy, that's fucking danger right there. That's a fucking room full of danger.
It is.
What time will the webcam be up?
So Neil, I'm not sure when you popped in, but we were just making our introductions around the house, so that way Ross knows who is who, and he probably forgot everyone's names. But
No, Joe, I didn't, and I'm gonna say them all back right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm not yet.
I was about to be seriously impressed.
All 92
He's
people.
taking notes.
He's one of those savant actors.
But I do have a thing from Drinking Bros. Anthony Dancer, he can't be here. He wanted to know if you like that Range 15 banner, the one that says Drinking Bro Nerds on it, not
Right?
Drinking Bros, but the Nerds one.
I love that. I love that one. That's from Anthony Tiny Dancer. Tell my little Tiny Dancer I'm proud of him. That was awesome.
Every time I see his name, every time I see his name, that goes through my head.
Right? Every time I just want to say, can I hold you closer?
Hold me closer, Anthony Dancer.
Wow.
Isolate that.
Ross just provided the vocal track to what runs through my mind every time I see his name pop
Every
up in
single
lottery
time that
chat.
name pops up, yeah. Hold me closer, Anthony Dancer.
We got a question on the board.
Fire away.
They want to know if you will play D&D with them, Ross.
You know, I'm not a huge video game guy. Not for the reasons you think, but solely for the reasons where I quit playing right around high school to concentrate on writing. If I played video games, I wouldn't write anything. I would literally get nothing done. I'd smoke weed and play video games all day. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Joe, you want to take this one?
Yeah, right?
Nope, I'm not touching this one with the 10-foot pole.
No!
Okay,
D&D isn't a video game.
All right, so what about role-playing games, like board games?
Look, sexual role play is fine. The rest of it, like I've got to write the books, I got to write the movies, so somebody's got to be the dad of the group, and that's otherwise.
God damn it! Doping gets in the way every time.
How do you think he met Joe?
I loved it. I loved playing video games too much, like to a sickness level. I could share with you that sickness, but yeah. It started with Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh,
And then
old
it went,
school.
yeah. But then it shifted to RBI baseball, and then it went up to Tiger Woods golf, to the point where it was a fist fight. We would give each other a green jacket, whoever won the Masters, and you had to put it on the other person.
I love Tiger Woods.
Yeah. So after that, then it moved on to Bond, like the first person shooter games, like. You know who plays all the time is Matt Best. He plays Diablo a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
He's
he
on the
plays
page
with
a
the
lot.
nerds a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dude, while I'm busy in editing for 90 hours a day editing his movie, he gets to play video games. So trust me, I'd switch in a second and do that.
Of course he plays with us. We're all like level 80 warlocks or some shit.
So I've already figured out if Ross played D&D with us, he would probably be a barbarian, and we would never get him to leave the tavern because he's too busy trying to fuck everything.
No, Ross would be the bard.
No, you
Yeah,
just
the
have him
bard.
play the big bad guy one night.
Look, I like that. As long as I can say wrong level bitch to one person, we're good.
Done
We've
and done.
had great success.
That would be so awesome.
We've had great success organizing torture for Joe in D&D, and I am sure we would all get behind supporting you for an hour or two, just wrecking Joe's D&D life.
Just
So amazing.
screaming out broke dick every fucking 10
Every
seconds.
Yes.
time.
So, Ross,
We would make a new spell just for it.
Ross, I'm not sure. Tommy made an announcement in Drinking Bro Nerds and Drinking Bro Maine. I'll let her tell you about what we did for nerds with D&D.
So about a month and a half ago, we were playing D&D and we were streaming it on Twitch, and we came up with a brilliant idea. Is if you gave a certain amount of money, I can't remember what the threshold was, whatever it was, we would allow you to control his next move. And then it escalated to if you give a certain more amount of money, we would actually kill off his character in an epic kind of way. Well, we got way more than we asked for. We ended up with $300 worth of donations. And this week, we gave half of it to the Gary Sinise Foundation and the other half to the EOD Memorial.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Hey, can I interject real quick? I went and saw my cousin up at Walter Reed. He got hurt and got to meet Gary Sinise there. Probably one of the coolest motherfuckers I've ever met. Like, he went room to room to make sure while he was there to meet everybody. And then all the guys that weren't injured but still vets, like he's took time out of his day just to talk to us. Like he's a badass motherfucker, and I love that dude to death.
And that's
awesome.
exactly why we gave to those foundations. So the EOD is obvious because of Mary Degg, but